All right, this is a full barber content guide that took me from 3K a month, working overtime. I'm talking 7 days a week, cutting hair all day, every day, coming home hella tired and not even wanting to go out to have any fun because I was so drained, to making 25K a month, charging over $100 for a cut and being literally booked out for weeks and months on end. In this video, I go over everything I learned through trial and error, growing my barber business through social media, helping me get millions of views, getting over 400K on TikTok and over 100K on Instagram is all packed into this video. And let me tell you something, everyone's out here making content seem hella complicated when in reality it's super simple. Like, don't get me wrong, there is strategy involved, but it's not rocket science. So instead of leaving you more clueless when you clicked and just telling you to post more often or hand out business cards or some shit, we're gonna go over things like how to get booked out weeks in advance without relying on walk-ins or word of mouth, what actually makes your content stand out while everyone else's flop, and how to turn one viral moment that you're bound to get after watching this video into a repeatable system that brings in new clients without you even having to try. If you've ever doubted what social media can do for your income, this video is gonna completely change your barbering business. And get hyped because you're about to have a competitive advantage over this whole entire space. I would have paid like 5K to have this information at my disposal when I first started, but I'm just gonna give it all to you for free. Why? Because I know how it felt when I was cutting hair for 12 hours a day, not being paid what I felt I was worth, and watching other barbers online live a life I knew I was capable of, but I had no clue on how to actually reach. So if you're serious about content, lock in because this information is gonna change your whole entire career like it did mine. So chapter 1, why most barbers stay broke, the real problem. All right, so before we get into the nitty gritty, we gotta talk about why most barbers stay broke their whole lives so that it doesn't happen to you. You see, most barbers rely on 3 things to get clients: walk-ins, word of mouth, and whatever the barbershop can get them. Only relying on these 3 things is literally the reason barbers' incomes never grow. They think business cards are the move, when in reality, they're not. The math is brutal. You hand out 100 business cards over a couple hours, and maybe 2 to 3 people actually call. On top of that, you're capped by your physical location and whoever happens to walk by that day. You're competing with every other barber in your area for the same small pool of clients. This keeps you stuck at $30 to $40 cuts because there's always someone willing to go cheaper. You end up cutting for long hours just to barely clear 3K months, and I'm not gonna lie, this last thing is honestly what almost held me back from getting into content at all. And it's not talked about enough among barbers. Your habits, your mindset, and the distractions in your life play a massive role in where you're going to be able to take your business. So back in 2022, I moved from Alaska to California and completely restarted my clientele. I was 19 years old at the time. I had 0 clientele, obviously because I was moving to a new city. I had moved out here to Santa Barbara, California for college. And I remember it was my first 3 months working at the barbershop that I just got hired at. And the same barbershop, they hired 3 other barbers. And there just clearly wasn't enough clientele for all the new barbers that were joining the barbershop. After 4 months of me working there, working my ass off, staying late for walk-ins, right? I was still stuck under 2 to 3K a month, barely even getting booked, waiting all day just to get a walk-in and maybe a few appointments booked on the same day. I hated that. I knew I did not want that. So I had to step it up. I had to find a way to get clients and to not rely on the barbershop because I was in a new city. I didn't know nobody, right? And on top of that, I was in college. So that's when I had to come out of my comfort zone. I had to start recording. I had to start posting content because I did not want to be in a shitty situation where I was only making 2 to 3K a month. I knew I deserved better. I knew that I could do so much better than 2 to 3K a month, especially after 4 months of being at this barbershop. And for a bit, I started to blame the barbershop. I was saying, oh, why would they hire so many barbers at once when they don't even have this much clientele for all of us, right? But that same mindset would have killed me in the long run, blaming somebody else for your own position. I had to take accountability of my own position. And once I finally did that and I realized that the position that I was in, making 2 to 3K a month, was solely because of me, that's when everything changed. I started making content. I started recording every day. I started acting like a barber that would make 10K a month. Although I was still living in a college dorm, and we'll pop up the picture right here, little 2-bedroom apartment with my big homie Thomas, right? Shout out to Thomas. I had to act like a 10K a month barber, even though I was in a college environment where everybody I knew was one, smoking weed, getting drunk 24/7. And if you guys don't know Santa Barbara is a big party school, right? Everybody's getting drunk 4 days a week, if not every single day, right? I had to cut myself out from those distractions, from the weed, partying, alcohol, women. I had to cut all that stuff out because those same habits were aligned with 2 to 3K a month. And if I wanted to be making 10K plus a month, I knew that I could not act like that because those were habits of a 2 to 3K a month barber, right? Like a lot of you guys watching this, you guys smoke weed every fucking day and you wonder why you're not making more than 2, 3, 4K a month because you guys aren't acting like a 10K a month barber, a 15K a month barber, a 20K a month barber, a 25K a month barber. You guys are not acting like that. You have to ask yourself, would a 10K a month barber be smoking weed right now when I haven't posted a video and I haven't edited a video and I didn't record content all day? Would a 10K a month barber be going out to the club, spending all the money he made that day on alcohol, trying to impress women, or buying shots for people you barely even know? And trust me, I understand that because I used to be that guy and I had to break through that. I had to be completely honest with myself. I had to have that conversation with myself. Was it worth it? And I don't regret anything because at the end of the day, everything's a learning lesson. But after you watching this video, I hope that at least a little bit of your mindset changes to where it's like you have a wake-up call. Take this video as a wake-up call for you to lock the fuck in. For yourself, for your family, for your future family, whoever it is, your loved ones, right? For your future, lock the fuck in. Cut out all those bad habits that are leaving you stuck at 2 to 3K a month. But it was so frustrating to me that I was only making 2 to 3K a month. But it made sense because I had that honest conversation with myself. I asked myself, am I somebody who's worthy of making 10K a month? Who's worthy of making $100 per haircut? I simply wasn't. And a lot of you guys have to have that honest conversation with yourself. And this is going to be the hardest part, but it's going to be the one that changes you forever. Have that conversation with yourself. Write down all those bad habits. If you're smoking every day, write that shit down. If you're going out every weekend, write that shit down. If you're spending so much fucking time texting women and trying to get like a quick dopamine hit, write that shit down. You're spending 4 to 5 hours a week on just trying to get some quick play, right? Would a 15K a month version of you be doing that? Fuck no. Write all your bad habits down and slowly start to weed them out and ask yourself, what would the 10K a month version of me, what would the 15K a month version of me, what would the 20K a month version of me charging $100, $150 a cut do instead of these things? Instead of smoking, he would be editing videos, studying videos. Instead of going out and partying, right? I'm not saying don't go out, but it's like you don't need to be spending a fucking shit ton of money on alcohol and doing this drunk shit every weekend. Maybe instead of that, go out to a nice dinner with some of your friends and get some content, some B-roll content of you out at a nice dinner. Clients and future clients love to see that. They love to see what the barber's doing outside of cutting hair. They don't want to see fucking you getting drunk and buying everybody shots. Maybe the $30, $40 low paying clients will, but that's not what we want. We want high paying clients that value us, that value our work. So it's all a perspective shift. I'm not saying you can't talk to women, but instead of trying to text women for like a quick fix, try and find a woman that's actually going to help you push the business forward, who's motivating, who has similar goals to you, right? If you hit the gym, does she hit the gym? Do you guys both have a goal that you want to hit? And are you guys both passionate about that goal and both trying to work towards that goal every single day? It's all perspective, right? The moment you can shift your perspective is when everything in your life changes. So anyways, back to my story about making only 3K a month from the barbershop. But luckily, we live in a day where there's this thing called content. And if you use it right, it will take you to new levels that you didn't even think were possible. I remember joining the barbershop out here in Santa Barbara, right, first moving out here, and I saw one of my coworkers making content, and I thought it was so cool. Like my guy had the ring lights, like he had 2 ring lights. He had like the phone, like he even had this. Let me show you right now. My guy even had this, and if for all you guys who don't know what this is, it's like if you're cutting hair, stick your phone on there, or you literally get like a POV of you cutting, right? I thought it was so cool, right? I was like, this new like barber content thing was so new to me. I was like, whoa, like this this is more than just cutting hair, right? And I thought that was so cool. I thought it was so cool that he was recording content that I knew for myself, like I had to try it and I had to give it a go. All right, so now we're gonna be digging deep into chapter 2, how content changes the game, right? The opportunity. So remember how I said that most barbers are capped by their location and the few people that walk by the shop? Well, content destroys that cap completely. It allows you to 10x the reach of people you can actually market to. No, not 10x, 100x. And if that opportunity doesn't get you pumped, let me explain to you why it's so powerful, right? When barbers get clients through word of mouth, walk-ins at the barbershop, those clients are already looking for a haircut. But what content does is it puts your work in front of people who aren't even looking for a haircut. Since they watch your content, they either now want a haircut themselves or start thinking about someone who needs one and books an appointment for them. And if you're a little slow like me, here's a perfect scenario of this playing out. So there's been countless of times where I've gotten new clients, right? I've been able to generate hundreds of new clients every single month, right? Especially at even $100 a cut. And one thing I ask these clients is, how do they find me, right? And a lot of these clients, I say about 80% of these clients say, bro, my girlfriend found you on TikTok and she loved your work and she wanted me to get a cut too, right? These are real scenarios that actually happen. So you're literally marketing to everybody. You're not just marketing to people who want a haircut, right? You're marketing to a mass market, to everybody, to girlfriends, to moms, to grandmas. I've had clients come in saying their grandma booked the appointment, like dead ass, right? Think about how powerful that is, where so many people can literally be a referral system for you. Even if themselves don't need a haircut, they'll think of somebody who does. Powerful. Now, multiply that single girlfriend, right? Multiply that by thousands of people seeing your content daily. You're literally going to be getting booked on autopilot, right? Also, a lot of barbers think business cards are like the move, but they're just not, guys. They're really not, right? It's 2025, right? Instead, think of any content you post as a business card that costs zero money at all and to make. And you can reach an infinite amount of people, right? You post one video online, and even if it only gets 1,000 views, that's still 900 more eyes on your service than 100 business cards that you're gonna hand out. And to add, like handing out 100 business cards would take so freaking long than just editing and posting a video, right? I remember when I was posting content and I started getting new clients in, and I would ask them like, how did you find me? And they would say Instagram, right? They would say TikTok. I was like, whoa, Instagram, TikTok, like your homie didn't tell you? You sure your homie didn't tell you to come to me? Like it wasn't a referral? Like, bro, no. They found me on Instagram and TikTok and my views weren't even hitting. It was like 1,000 views a video, but I consistently posted. And I was like, oh my goodness, I'm getting business off this. Like imagine if my videos will hit like 100,000, 500,000, a million. How many new clients could I actually get, right? And this was when I was making only 2 to 3K a month from the barbershop, right? Working at the barbershop after 4 months. And now I'm getting all these new clients just from like posting videos. I was like, holy, I've struck gold. I no longer have to rely on the barbershop. All the power is in my hands, right? I don't need this fucking barbershop anymore. I don't need them to try and give me clients. I don't care. Go ahead, hire more barbers because I'm gonna find a way to get my own clients through social media. I don't need the barbers. I don't need the barbershop's clientele. That's how it felt. It felt so fucking good, right? And I want everybody watching this to feel that as well, right? So now you know posting content is 100% the best way to market yourself as a barber. Now let's get into exactly how to actually do this successfully. All right, so chapter 3, the 3 content types that actually work. This is going to be your guys' foundation of content, right? So when I first started, I posted 3 different types of content for 45 days straight until I got my first video that was over 10,000 views. The first type was action reels. This type of content, you're basically cutting hair with music in the background, showing off satisfying satisfying clips of hair falling off in order to get a viewer to watch to the end of the product, to get a viewer to watch the end of the video and eventually see your haircut and then actually book an appointment. This type of video was a good way to, one, show off my skills, and then two, show off the final result, right? The actual haircut without much talking whatsoever. So I would really only use these types of videos when you have a really clean cut, but no interesting conversation actually happened. Right? I would focus on satisfying moments like the first clipper pass or lineup reveal, right? What makes the best action reels are the ones that show off the most, one, difference being made, or two, the most hair falling off. Because these are the most satisfying clips for a viewer to actually watch and actually get to the end of your video. So after posting some action reels, they weren't really getting the engagement that I wanted. So I tried voiceovers, right? And basically what a voiceover is, it's a action reel, but you're talking over the footage of you actually cutting the hair, right? You can do things like share tips, right? Share tips of what you're doing when actually cutting the hair. You can tell stories or even explain techniques while showing the work. But the best way to actually execute voiceovers is doing problem solution voiceovers, right? Calling out a problem that a client has and then explaining how you can fix it, right? So if a client has straight hair, explain how you can get his hair to look textured and wavy, right? These work so well because clients are willing to pay for their problems to be solved, right? And they'll pay high prices for that. So if you can execute and show that you can solve a client's problem, right? For example, if a client has, a receding hairline and you could cover up their hairline with a textured fringe, you've solved their problem, right? So that is when I would use voiceovers the most, is when there's a clear problem with your client's hair, or a clear problem that they're struggling with, right? And I would show how to fix it. This allows you to market yourself as a professional, as someone who knows what they're doing, as authority, right? And to clients, they'll be like, oh my gosh, this guy really knows his shit. Let me book an appointment. Boom, new client, right? The specific voiceover types of content that performed the best for me at the time was lineup clips, right? I was able to get somebody's crazy overgrown lineup to crisp and clean, right? Debulked, crisp, clean without pushing it back, right? And the problem for someone like with lineups, you gotta think, what is their problem? If you don't know, then ask, but you gotta think. Sometimes you have to make up the problems, right? So for me, like I had to think, what would someone that's getting a lineup have as a problem, right? Especially with previous barbers. Okay, well, lineup, well, people could be getting pushed back, so let me use that as a problem, right? And let me say and talk about how my client came to me because he had problems with other barbers pushing his lineup back, and then explain step by step what I'm doing to avoid pushing my client back, right? Or another problem with lineups is maybe the client doesn't like too much enhancement or paint. I would explain how I'd leave the lineup natural, but also keeping it dark, right? So enhancements wasn't even needed, right? This content performed the best for me because I was fixing a known problem in the market, right? So you as a beginner, what you need to do when you're recording voiceovers is think of your current clientele. Think about their hair type, right? Do they have straight hair? Right? What's a problem that straight hair clients have? Most straight hair clients, like myself, want textured hair. They want volume in their hair, right? So find a solution and show that solution to the market, to everybody on social media, and you'll get new clients like that, right? For example, something you could say for this is like, my client has straight hair, but this is a perfect hook for someone, for a voiceover, for a client that has straight hair. You could literally say this, something like this. My client has straight, flat hair, but he wants texture and volume in his hair. So to do this, I'm gonna go ahead and then you explain your process. To do this, I'm gonna go ahead and point cut his hair and then explain why you're point cutting. I'm point cutting his hair because this will create inconsistencies in the hair, allowing it to give it more texture. And then I'm gonna use a feather razor and remove weight from his hair. This allows his hair to be more willing to take in product. So when he styles, he can have more control over the manipulation of the the hair. So now he can turn his hair from straight to wavy, right? So a simple framework for voiceovers. Think about your clientele. Identify their hair type. Identify any problems that clients could have, right? I want you guys to literally think about your clientele, get a notebook out, and literally be like this. Okay, let's write down a shit ton of problems that my clients could have, right? Even if they don't have these problems, what could they have had before coming to you? And if you can't think of so many, text your clients and ask them, right? Okay, my guy has, this guy has like a light hairline. He has light corners and barbers usually push back the light corners. Okay, let me write that down. How to preserve light corners and keep them dark, right? For the lineup, right? Or maybe some barbers are cutting their hair too short. So my client wants a flow haircut, but when he usually goes to barbers, they don't know how to use shears and they end up fucking his hair because they don't know how to use shears and they cut his hair too short, right? So that's another idea, right? Just keep jotting down ideas, right? And then from there, simplify those ideas into a 5 to 8 word line, and there's your hook, right? So we'll do it right now. I'll think of an idea and we'll go from there. So easy, straight to wavy hair client. We'll do this again, right? Okay, that's the idea, straight to wavy hair. So if I were to put this in a hook, how could I do that? And remember, your hooks, when you're actually talking in the voiceover, they should be anywhere from, 5 seconds max. So if you have to talk a little bit fast, you have to talk a little bit fast, right? Because people's attention spans are quick. They're quick. Your pacing is key. When I would do voiceovers, I would talk hella fast, right? I would talk very fast, but I would make sure what I was saying was clear. I wouldn't mumble my words. So let's think about a hook, right? Straight to wavy hair. So easy for this, something I could do is, my client has straight flat hair, but he wants that textured look, but other barbers would fuck him up and not be able to give him texture. So for that, you can easily say something like that in like 5 seconds, right? That's gonna perform super well. And it's gonna get you a shit ton of clients because the viewers are gonna understand. They're gonna be like, wow, he understands my issues. He understands my problems and he has a solution to fix them. Booked appointment. Boom. The third piece of content that I was posting within those 45 days span of consistently posting when first starting out was simple before and afters. Before and afters are a satisfying type of content for viewers to watch, right? And the best time to do before and afters is when you have a dramatic transformation or you can literally give somebody a glow up, right? You take someone from looking chopped and then you turn them into Giga Chad. And you can do before and afters with literally every fucking client that you have already. Or you can record these before and afters. They're so simple, but the only way to make them effective is by following this framework. You gotta think, okay, so the reason these before and afters actually go viral is because the client looks really fucking good at the end, right? A client goes from ugly or chopped to like really good looking, right? Really aesthetic, right? So for all of my clients, even the good looking ones already, how can I make them look chopped? That's the first half of the video, is the before. So how can I make my good looking clients look chopped? Okay, let's think. Do my clients have any, weak points in their hair? Or any insecurities that they have, like, with their hair or maybe like anything overall. Okay, maybe one of my good looking clients has a really bad hairline, right? So how am I gonna make him look chopped? Okay, I'm gonna wet his hair, comb it back, and expose his horrible hairline. And then to add on that, how can I make him look even more chopped, right? Add some glasses, some fake nerd glasses. And then after that, okay, well, you're thinking like, oh, this client even has a good jawline, but like, how do I hide that? Easy, have him make a double chin, right? Have him suck in his chin a little bit like this, right? And especially with these good looking clients, you have to think, what are their good features, right? Because in the before of the before and after, right? It's a two segment video, right? It's a before and then an after. How can I hide his blue eyes? If a client has nice blue eyes, how can I hide those blue eyes, right? And then reveal them at the end, right? Okay, maybe have them kind of look down, right? Not actually with their head down, but like have them look down so that their eyelids actually cover, like kind of like cover their blue eyes. So then like the viewers can't even tell they have blue eyes. Boom. Right, and then if they have long eyelashes, how can I cover that up? Okay, with the glasses as well, the glasses do that also. Oh shoot, maybe like, to make them look even worse, I could add hair fibers on and give them a unibrow, right? Or maybe I could make like fake I've never done this, but this is an idea. Like make fake pimples on their face. So you guys gotta think, like like, how can I make them look chopped? That's the first half of a before and after, the first half. And this needs to be executed so well, or else people aren't gonna make it to the after, or people aren't going to like your video, or they're not gonna comment. It's not gonna go viral. So the before has to be so dialed in by doing all those things, right? And then the after, you guys need to think, okay, in the after, we have to make the client look as best as possible. And there's so many things you can do. One, lighting. Make sure you have 2 ring lights. One light blasting on their face. Putting more light to their face allows them to look brighter, right? It makes their skin look clearer, right? Unless they have like a shit ton of acne, but it just makes them look better overall, right? It helps hide their dark circles. And then boom, if they have a good jawline, what can I do to enhance their jawline? Okay, make them mew a little bit, right? Tell your client to mew. Or even what I would do is like have my client like tilt his head up just a little bit, because it actually stretches the bottom right here and makes their jawline pop so much more, right? It's like you do those things. Like what else? What else? You gotta think, what else? What else? Okay, well, my client has nice blue eyes. How do I make them pop out even more? Okay, I'm gonna have them look directly in the light. And now the light is blasting on their eyes and it's making the blue eyes pop even more. And then you gotta be like, you almost have to thirst trap your clients with these guys. Have them feeling themselves. Have them look in the mirror and like lick their lips, do all that. Have fun with this process, because the only way to really make these videos effective is if that after is so freaking damn good, right? Have them feeling themselves, hype them up. Right? They just got a fresh cut, hype them the fuck up if they're not already hyped already. Tell them to literally thirst trap the camera. Tell them to mog the camera, right? Clients will do that. What else can you add, right? You know, fake earrings. You know, if they didn't have earrings, get magnetic earrings. Get a magnetic nose piercing, right? Get a fake like gold chain, right? Add a chain. If their hair was straight before, give them a textured fringe or like style their hair after, right? And make that hair look really fucking good styled. You guys should always be styling your client's hair as well, because it adds to the aesthetic. You guys have to think, how can I make this aesthetic so freaking good? Right? If you want to put colored lights in the background to make that aesthetic pop even more, do that as well. There's so many things you can do. It's like one, getting a client from ugly to aesthetic. That's as simple as it is. Even the background, you can play around with it, right? Maybe in the first clip, you know, this is just an idea, but maybe in the first clip, the client's in like, you know, like there's a different background overall, and the second background is super aesthetic, right? With the lights and the maybe a backdrop, the colored lights, all that, right? So follow these. So that's what makes a really good before and after. So that was my 45-day testing process. I posted one or more of these 3 types every single day. Without a fail, I just posted every single day consistently. I didn't miss a day, all right? I actually didn't miss a day for over 2 years, right? And that explains the results that I have, right? You guys can do the same thing as well. You guys can do it, right? And I would track which of these videos from the 45 videos that I posted in 45 days got the most engagement in the comments. And I would study the best videos, right? And after 45 days, I finally got my first video over 10K views. Over 10 fucking K views. I was so happy. Like imagine posting for over a month and all your content's flopping, but finally on that 45th post, I got it. I was like, 10K, let's go. But that's when I knew I was onto something, and the algorithm was starting to push my content, right? Because the algorithm will not push your content if you're not consistent, so get consistent first, right? It was so exciting to get that first video hit 10K views, because it was like, damn, it was proof that all the times where I even wanted to quit and I wanted to stop posting because my videos wouldn't hit, was like, it gave me like the green light. It was like, damn, this shit does really work, and it works for me too, because I've seen it work for other people, but now I know for a fact that it works for me, right? And I was so freaking hyped, right? And it was a voiceover video, but I had to study. Like, I was like, why the fuck, out of all my other piece of content, why did this one get 10K views and the rest got 1,000? The rest got 500 views. Why did this one get 10K? I studied the fuck out of it, and it was a super satisfying clip paired with a voiceover. Those two together brought me my first ever spike of 10,000 views. So I took that information and I kept doing it. I kept recording voiceovers, right? I kept recording satisfying clips, and I made these voiceover videos with satisfying clips. I had proof of concept that something worked on my page, and I was so freaking excited. So a lot of you guys just need to get over the hump of posting every day. Don't think about the result, post every day, because sooner rather than later, you're gonna get that first video pop 10K views, and then you're gonna have proof of concept that what you're doing actually works, and then you can study the fuck out of that video that worked, replicate it, test new ways to improve it. And then so many of you guys guys are just like, you guys can't even post for a day, you know, can't even post for 2 days, right? Can't even go a whole week posting every day, right? Or maybe you post twice and then you get discouraged because your videos flop and then you never post again. Right? I posted for 45 fucking days straight. I spent at least 1 to 2 hours on each of those videos. Imagine shooting 45 fucking times, right, in a single game and missing all those shots. Actually 44, and then on the 45th one, I made that shit from half court, right? Because the 45th post, I actually got 10K views. But you guys are giving up after posting 1, 2 times. It's like, what are you guys doing, man? The first hump is learning how to detach yourself from the results. If you get, actually, when you get shitty views for your videos, because you will, to be able to keep pushing through and not get discouraged. That's the first win that you have to collect. That's the first hump that you have to get over in order to actually get to that first spike. And then that's the next win, right? Oh, I got my first spike. Let me replicate it. You get another spike, another win. And then again, and then again. Boom! Voiceovers. You mastered them. Now let me test out a different piece of content and let me get that shit to the bank, right? This is the process. It's gonna be so fucking excited just talking about it because it brings me back to when I was locked the fuck in and just making content. It was so fucking fun. So I mastered voiceovers, but there was still this certain type of content that became my main moneymaker. And in just a second, I'll show you exactly why it deserves your full attention. So if you guys need snacks, if you guys need, actually fuck the snacks, this deserves your full attention. Get some water and just lock the fuck in on what I'm about to say. Because this type of content literally converted way better than all the other 3 combined. Like no joke, it was getting me 60 to 70 new clients every single month, even at the $85 price point, right? I got like 80 new clients in the month at $85. What the fuck is that, right? That's insane with this type of content, right? I was getting booked out so often, I was able to raise my prices a shit ton. In only a few months, I went from 35 to 45 to 65 to 85 to 100 and now at 120. Like this right here is for real the moneymaker, and you guys need to watch this part and very hyper focus on what I'm about to say. So with that being said, chapter 4, the consultation video. We're gonna deep dive into this. This is the moneymaker. What I'm talking about is consultation videos. And I preach this content vehicle constantly because it's a content that everybody, mass market, everybody seems to fuck with out of everything. And I've posted all the types of barber content that you could even think of. It feels like cheating, literally, when your calendar gets booked so full after posting these videos. So for you guys who don't know what consultation videos are, I'll obviously pull up an example right here. It's literally just capturing you and your client, you know, the barber and the client talking. That's what a consultation video is. Super easy. And why consultations convert like crazy is viewers get to experience sitting in your chair multiple times before they even book an appointment. They see your personality, they see how you communicate, how you actually treat your clients, how you treat new clients. This creates a relationship and a connection before they even meet you in person. Like I remember having clients come to me and they're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm here. Like I've been watching you for so long, like it's so crazy to see you in person, right? But it's like a live testimonial and demonstration rolled into one piece of content. Now here's some psychology behind why these videos do so well. And the psychology behind why these videos actually work is relatability, right? A lot of the time viewers connect with the client sitting in your chair. And 2, authority. You get to solve problems on camera, proving you actually know what you're doing. This builds trust. It's also social proof, right? They witness the client's genuine reaction at the end, you know, where they're happy, they're hyped, they're like, oh my God, you got me right. You saved my whole relationship with this cut. This generated me 60 to 70, 80 new clients every single month, all right? But how was I managing to make these consultation videos that actually generated me 60, 70, 80 new clients every single month? Well, I'll tell you. You see, every consultation video is basically a disguised mini commercial for you and your brand. Viewers see the full experience from start to finish, not just the results. So they know exactly what they're paying for, right? They're pre-sold on you and your vibe before they even book an appointment, right? And what I specifically did so right in my consultation videos that made people want to book is I was able to capture the client's emotion. I was able to capture the raw reactions at the end. So a pro tip for a lot of you guys that are going to start recording consultation videos is to not turn your client towards the mirror until the end of the cut. what? This builds one, more suspension, and two, you're gonna get more of a genuine reaction because your client's not like seeing the whole process, right? It's almost like, oh my gosh, like at the end when you finally show off their hair, capture that. Spin the chair, have the tripod already set up, recording, and once you spin and they look in the mirror, they're like, oh, right? It's always the eyes. Pro tip, don't turn your clients, towards the mirror until the final cut, right? And then capture the genuine reaction. And that's what people want to see because it sparks emotion in the viewers, right? When you see a happy person, you'll get happy. When you see a sad person, you'll probably start feeling down. Right? A lot of people are emotional people. Most of the world is emotional. A lot of people operate and think emotionally. And if you can spark emotion in a viewer, they're gonna book or they're gonna book for somebody else. Think about music. The best songs that you like, your favorite songs, are the ones that make you feel a certain type of way that you actually like to feel. So for example, if a song makes you feel hyped up, makes you feel like energized, right? You're gonna love that song, right? Before you go to the gym or something like that. It's emotion. And that song, you'll know the lyrics to that song, right? Because it sparks an emotion in you. That same song, you're gonna know exactly the name of that song and the artist of that song. It's the same with content, right? If you can spark emotion in people, people are gonna remember you, they're gonna gravitate towards you, and they're gonna want to come see you. That's the thing with consultation videos. It's not just a haircut anymore. You're selling an experience. You're selling them on coming to you. Like the key thing is you here. And that's why it's so powerful as well, because nobody else can be you, right? You are you, and you're going to attract a shit ton of clients. If you just show off you and you be yourself and you spark emotion in the viewers. And I'm not gonna lie, there's a big difference between barbers posting consultations and the ones not posting them. Just getting complacent with regular showcase content, right? There's a huge difference between the two. And the difference is that showcase barbers, they may get views, but they build no real connection with their viewers. Rather, consultation barbers are able to build a way that is more trusting and resulting in many bookings, right? Showcase barbers, they have to compete on price because viewers only see their cut. Consultation barbers, they can charge a premium because clients are buying not only the cut, but like I said before, the experience, personality, right? And now that you've got the kind of content that gets the most clients, let me show you how to turn one of those hits into a system that keeps you booked month after month after month, right? So that leaves us to chapter 5, the replication system, going from one hit to constant virality, right? So once I really started to get in the trenches with consultation content and got a hang of what I was doing and what was working and what wasn't, I would look at my most viral videos and recreate them with a new spin. So now, instead of losing momentum after you go viral and wonder why nothing is working anymore, you're gonna use one of your videos that did particularly well to build a repeatable system that'll make you go viral more often than not. So in this analysis process, you gotta look at your top performing videos and study the shit out of them. You gotta think, what was the hook in the first 3 seconds that made people stop scrolling? Ask yourself these questions, right? What question did you ask the client during the consultation? Or what was a story or conversation topic that kept people engaged, right? So once you have clarity on the answers to these questions, you'll know exactly what you need to do in order to make another viral video, right? And to go the extra mile, check the comment section. They'll tell you exactly why the video went viral. Look for patterns in what people are saying and reacting to, right? For example, right here. So for example here, for a client, this one right here, 34.8 million views. If I look at the comments, everybody's saying, whole different person, bro. He kind of fine. Bro, that went crazy. He's like, they're just thirsting over this 13-year-old kid. Oh gosh. Anyways, so I know exactly what to do for this. This is repeatable because it's like, okay, if you have an attractive client, make sure you record. Make sure you record. And then make sure you hide his attractiveness in the consultation and in the before. Right? So if you have an attractive client, think of ways how you can hide them, right? If somebody has blue eyes, do they have long enough hair to where you can comb it down to where their hair is covering their eyes, and then you could reveal their blue eyes at the end, right? Because I've had so many videos as well where people are like, oh my gosh, like face reveal, right? Because all I did was hide their face with their hair. Easy. right? Or for example, you know, some of my private clients are getting viral videos and we're checking the comments, like what are people commenting about? They're saying, bro, change your fire alarm, change your smoke alarm, right? That's something we could repeat to far more comments, right? By simply adding the broken smoke alarms, broken whatever, right? Broken smoke alarm, fire detector, and sound effect in the whole video. Right? That's something we could repeat, the replication strategy, right? So let's go more in depth into the replication strategy and what it actually is, right? So you don't want to just copy and paste the same video, right? You want to improve and iterate on it. It's super important to always be making each video better and better and always finding something to improve for the next video. So you're probably wondering, how do I actually iterate? Well, we're gonna take the same format and conversation style from a video that did well, but make it even better. We're gonna use similar questions that did well, but with different clients. And now we're going to test out variations of what worked to see what performs even better. So those are things you can tweak to see if you get a better result overall, right? And what not to change, right? You're probably wondering what not to change. So you gotta make sure to keep the same energy and authentic personality that works. So for my videos, right, I've had so many videos pop off, but I'll explain a little bit of iteration. So in one video, I asked my client, yo, so okay, let's give a little context, right? My client's a very old dude, right? But I asked him, I was like, yo bro, how old are you? And this dude looks like he's probably like 30, 40, but my client says 18. I'm like, 18, dang. That video got so many views because people are like, what, he's 18? But my face like wasn't really selling it, right? So I had to think, how can I improve this for the next person, right? So the next client I cut up that looked a lot older, but was a lot younger, right? When I asked him, I was like, yo, how old are you, right? And this time this guy was like, you know, looked like he was 25, 30, but in reality he was 16. He would say 16, and instead of keeping a straight face like I did in the other video, I went like, 16, right? I raised my voice a little bit. I made it like, I sold it more. I sold the reaction. I gave the reaction. Right? I sold it to the viewers. I'm sparking emotion. I'm sparking emotion here by selling my reaction, right? So a client sitting in my chair, I'm asking them, how old are you, right? And this dude looks old as shit. And then he says 16. I'll go like this, 16? Right, like I'll even lean back a little bit. I sell it so much. I open my eyes up. I raise my voice, right? That's how I improve. I just amplified things. I just amplified them more. You guys have to think about, okay, what worked and how can I amplify it? How can I take what worked and amplify it so that it sparks emotion in the viewer, right? So for me, it's like, holy shit, this dude's fucking 16. Instead of going like, oh, you're 16, bro? Right? Instead of doing some shit like that, sell it. Be an actor. Sell it. 16, right? So that's exactly what I did, right? And that's how I made each video better, because then people were commenting like, oh, what the fuck is like it sold it even more. It sold it even more. Right? And viewers were like, holy shit, like what? You know? So you guys gotta sell it. So now after you do this, like even 5 to 10 times, you're gonna start seeing clear patterns emerge that you can clearly take advantage of. So that leads me into the next topic of, you know, consultations, right? And the mastering, you know, replication system, right? Is you gotta have pattern recognition for consistent results, right? Certain types of conversations and client stories that perform well, right? Specific questions that generate the most engagement and comments, right? For some of my videos, I would literally be like, how much are you gonna tip me? And people would get mad that I'm asking for a tip before the cut, right? They would fucking comment about that. Energy levels and conversation topics that viewers clearly gravitated toward, right? And I'm not gonna lie, if you just did this, you could probably take yourself from a few grand a month to dead ass 6 figures a year. Like, content is literally goated. Bro, content is insane the way it could just blow up your business, right? So here's how I'd implement this if I was you starting today, right? This is gonna be the full process that took me from 3 to 25K months, right? I would start posting consultation videos ASAP and consistently until one video pops off, right? And once that video pops off, replicate and improve it immediately. And I don't mean replicate after a week. I mean the next day you should be replicating this shit, right? And you wanna double down on consultations until you're generating 50 to 60 new clients a month. And now, once you're 80 to 90% booked out, raise your prices by $20 minimum and rinse and repeat this process. This is exactly what I did, right? And you wanna keep doing this until you're charging anywhere from 80 to 100 a cut, right? If you wanna push even more, go to 120, go to 140, 160, keep going up, right? And also, during this process, your TikTok should probably be around 10K followers, meaning your content itself could generate passive income from the creator rewards program. But more on how to take advantage of that in a bit. Anyways, once you've got this replication system down and you get good at repurposing viral content of yours, there are some really good tactics that'll literally explode your entire page and take it to the next fucking level. Figuring these out, actually using them, literally took me from, I think like I was stuck at like 300K on TikTok all the way to 500. And it's chapter 6, advanced content strategies, right? We're gonna take this even further, right? So at this point, you know how to get content up and running successfully, but how do you break past the content plateau everybody faces at some point? Well, that's what these advanced strategies I'm about to show you will actually do for you, right? That's what will separate the barbers making decent money from content versus the ones absolutely crushing it and out earning everybody in their shop. First things first is gonna be my techniques for getting people to comment. And these are the comment farming techniques, right? So comments are everything for the algorithm. More comments means more reach. So you wanna ask questions in your videos that pretty much force people to engage and respond, right? Create slightly controversial moments that make people want to comment their opinion. For example, when I would literally ask my client to his face, okay, how much are you gonna tip me today? Right? People get so fucking mad at that. Or I'll ask like a 13-year-old, do you have a girlfriend? For some reason, people would get mad at me asking a little kid if they had a girlfriend, right? I mean, I had a girlfriend when I was fucking 12, so like, I don't see the purpose of it. I'd even have people calling me a pedophile for asking that. It's so funny. I don't know. It's so freaking funny. But people get so mad, guys. They get so mad, right? But I'm just comment farming. I'm literally rage baiting these people so I can go more viral. So like even more, comment farming techniques, like there's even more that I've done, right? You guys have to think, you also have to think of trends, right? Like what's currently trending. I think right now in this current moment, people are all like fucking saying 6'7", 6'7". If you're watching this like a year from now of dropping this video, you're probably gonna be like, bro, what the fuck? This guy really saying 6'7"? But like for some reason, if you add 6'7" into the video, like people are gonna comment about that. They're like 6'7", or like on TikTok, they'll put like the 6'7", like the kid that's like 6'7", you know what I'm saying? Like it's just so funny. And you gotta think, okay, how can I implement this trend and to get more comments, right? How can I implement this into my videos, right? Okay, for example, you get a client that has like a little bit overgrown hair, right? Okay, you can ask them this question. Yo, bro, how long have you been growing your hair out, man? Have your client literally say this. I think I've been growing out like 6-7 months. Bro, people are gonna die for that, right? They're like, bro, what? Or like, do you have a girlfriend, bro? Like, yeah, bro, I got a girlfriend, man. Like, that's why she wants me to get this cut. Right, okay. So how long have you two been together? And then your client goes, around 6-7 months. Like, bro, literally that's why it's like so important as well to like keep up with trends. As much as I don't want like everybody watching this to just indulge in brain rot, you almost have to a little bit, right? Like, I'm not saying go scroll for fucking hours on end and just like lose yourself in the sauce, but you can literally study brain rot, and then you could take what you've learned from studying brain rot and implement them into your content, because then you're targeting mass market, because so many people know trends these days. So if you could implement that into barber content, people are going to love that, right? They're gonna fucking love it, right? And that leads me to the next point, is to adapt popular trends to fit barber content specifically, right? Okay, scratch that last line. So don't just follow trends, right? Put your own unique spin on them, right? Study the space and stay on top of what's working across all platforms. The real way to really explode your brand as a barber is to identify trends from other niches and then adapt them to barber content. All right. So for example, when 6'7" was first, like trending and people were laughing about that, nobody had ever used it in barber content. If you can identify those trends early in the brain rot niche, or in like, something like fitness niche, right? But we'll just say brain rot niche, 6'7", we're pulling that from the, okay, let me say this, okay. So you're gonna take a different niche, right? Here's barbering, right here. Here is, the brain rot niche. Study the brain rot niche, take things that are working from the brain rot niche, like 6, 7, and figure out a way to implement that into your barber content, right? Like I explained prior. If you can identify trends from other niches early and then adapt them into barber content, you're gonna go fucking crazy when you create content. Because it's something some people are familiar with, but you're repackaging it in a new way. It's literally like the iPhone. Taking trends from different niches and then putting it into barber content, it's literally like the new iPhone. This is the iPhone 16, right? There's a 17 now, right? But every fucking year, all Apple does is they repackage their old fucking phone. Like they repackage the previous model. They make slight tweaks. Maybe they'll upgrade the camera a little bit, come out with a little bit new colors or something, and then drop the phone, right? Drop the phone and then it gets sold out and people are buying and buying and buying, right? All they're doing is repackaging their old, right? They're making slight tweaks to make it feel new. Like it's the same with content. You're taking slight tweaks that you can take from other niches and you're putting it and repackaging it into barber content. And then people are gonna go like, oh my gosh, 6, 7 in a barber video, what the fuck, right? It's exactly what it is. So if you guys can actually study other trends and other niches and then apply it to barber content, you're gonna fucking go crazy. So thus leads me to the cross-platform content distribution, right? So one piece of content should work on multiple platforms, thus giving you maximum exposure, right? So if something hits on TikTok, there's a very high chance it will also hit on Instagram Reels and YouTube Shorts. So don't limit yourself to just TikTok or just Instagram or just YouTube, right? Post on all the platforms. And what you can also do is make slight modifications for each platform, right? Change the hookup a little bit for each platform, see if it gets a better result overall. This allows you to maximize your reach without creating completely new content every time. You could literally take the same viral video that worked on Instagram and post it into different platforms. Even Facebook, have your Instagram linked with Facebook, because then it's gonna go viral on Facebook and you're gonna get more fucking clients from that as well, right? Then leads me to my next strategy, which is the content batching and efficiency system, right? You wanna film multiple videos in one barbering session to save time. So film multiple videos on one client, right? Record a before and after, record a voiceover, record a consultation, right? Batch your editing and posting so content creation doesn't take all of your time away. Because at the end of the day, content creation is going to take a lot of your time, but it's going to be worth it. So we have to figure out a way to create more volume of videos without sacrificing quality, right? And what we do is we record multiple pieces of content on one single client. If you record 3 pieces of content on one client and you do this for 5 clients, that's 15 videos. And now you're ahead 15 days to post, right? Just from 5 clients, right? And now you have 15 videos and now you can create systems and workflows so that you're not constantly stressed about having to post every single day, right? Schedule your reels on Instagram, right? Have it organized in your photo album. Make a photo album saying ready to post videos, and then have one saying you posted. And then once you post something, move it to the posted, right? And then 3 months from then, you could go back into your posted videos, see the ones that did the best, and then repost them, because they're gonna get a good result as long as you repost a video that was like at least like 3 months old. And speaking of creating systems that work for you, all right, let's talk about how the content you're making itself can make you money when you're not even cutting hair, right? And this brings us to chapter 7, monetizing beyond the chair, actually getting some passive income just from posting content, right? So this is where content gets really powerful. It starts making you money, and really where all your hard work starts to pay off like even more, because you're gonna not only be able to make more money with content by generating you more new clients and allowing you to charge more, but you can actually monetize the views you got on TikTok if you didn't know this already, right? The Creator Rewards program, they pay you for the views that you get. I've had videos that have paid me $5K for just a single video, $1K for a single video, $500 for a single video, right? But you got to get to at least 10,000 followers, and that's where posting every day and being consistent comes in handy, right? And once you're there, you can monetize from your views directly. And then on top of that, you could add TikTok Shop products on your videos and then get commission from other products, right? So if you use, for example, sea salt spray for a haircut, you could link that that in there, and when people buy, you will get a commission from that sale. More passive income on top of the views that you're getting, right, from the video. And to add, your videos need to be at least 1 minute long, which is why consultation videos work so fucking well, because they're highly engaging and you can easily make them 1 minute long, right? It's literally passive income for content that you're already making anyway, right? And the best way that you can actually optimize your content for maximum payouts is making sure that the whole video is engaging, right? Making sure that the entire thing is engaging. You literally need to rewatch your video, and like every 5 seconds, your viewers should be getting sparked emotion, more emotion, more emotion, every 5 seconds. That way, that whole retention, people are actually watching the whole video to the end. And if people watch the whole video to the end, if your retention rate is higher, your RPM is higher, right? Your rate per minute, meaning you're gonna get paid more money. So here's a dummy simple way to get to 10,000 followers as fast as possible. And it's so fucking simple. Everything I explained in this video, but consultations, just post the consultations every fucking day. Post one a day and improve it, right? Building to 10K followers systematically is hella cliche, but consistency is literally everything. You gotta just post daily with no excuses if you want to grow. On top of that, post consultations. So you're gonna be the best fucking videos ever. Every barber that's charging high prices is because they mastered consultations. Do your studying in the market. You'll see all the top barbers who are charging so much for a cut and have huge, brands and a lot of followers. They mastered consultations, right? So engage with your audience in the comment section of your videos as much as you can as well, right? Comments that are gonna lead to more comments, right? For example, if a client is like, oh my gosh, I love this haircut, you can comment like, oh, okay, so appreciate it, bro, but what did you like exactly about that haircut, right? Ask questions in your comments. This will lead to them answering back, thus leading to more questions and then pushing your videos out even further. So don't be Mr. Cool Guy and not respond to your comments. I would understand if you're getting like a shit ton of fucking comments like my post where it's like 10,000 comments in one post. Like, yeah, of course I can't respond to that, right? But in the beginning phases where you're only getting like 10 comments, right? Respond to everybody, right? Not until you're getting millions of views is where it's like, okay, maybe I can't respond. But even then, I'll still look through the comments and then respond to people, right? And ask questions. Make people, you basically just want to comment something to people back where they will have to comment again, right? And the easiest way to do that is by asking a question. And another thing you can do to get to 10K followers as quick as you can is try and collaborate with other creators and barbers in your area who might already be doing content, right? Use the replication system we talked about earlier to consistently go viral. But honestly, it's super simple to get to 10K followers, where you just post every day and constantly improve on that. And on top of that, to add to your engagement is like what you can also do is start following other barbers who are also starting out making content. I call this method young barber outreach, where you're following other barbers who have less than 10,000 followers and you're consistently showing them love, meaning you're liking their stories, you're commenting on their posts, maybe you're DMing them, because this is building relationships with all these barbers and they're gonna see your posts and wanna like and comment as well. Right? I would interact with 30 new barbers every single day. That way I'm getting new eyes on my page, and on top of that, I'm building relationships with these clients. Relationships with these other barbers that are making content as well, right? Or even if they're not making content, just like some barbers who are still active on social media as well. This literally builds like your foundation of loyal people who are always gonna like your videos. I would do this as well, but literally it comes down to posting consultation videos every single day and improving on them every single day, right? Thus leads me to the next thing, right? You could even make additional revenue streams from content, right? And I've been able to do this, right? I've been able to get paid money through brand partnerships and sponsorships from other hair product companies. Or you can sell your own hair product or your own branded merchandise, like hoodies or whatever at some point, right? To make more money once you build your personal brand, right? Or even like what I was saying, a TikTok shop with affiliate marketing for products you've actually used. use and recommend, right? Like I've been able to show off hair products and link those in my TikToks and actually make passive money through that, right? So anyways, y'all, that is everything that I know about scaling a barber business with content after doing it myself. And if you've made it to the end of this video, give yourself a pat on the back, right? Because now you have the exact information that you need in order to scale the fuck out of your barber business, right? And here's why you now have an edge over every barber out there making content. First of all, most barbers aren't even trying, not to the degree that you are. They're not even watching these videos at all. And the people who did watch this video, right? If I had to make a guess, probably 50% of them got halfway through. They felt like it was too much work, or maybe they didn't believe in themselves and they just clicked off. But you made it to the end, right? You clearly know you're capable of making this happen. And the crazy thing is, probably 99% of the people who have made it to the end of this video clicked off, went about their day, and never implemented any of the information. And if they had, well, their life could look completely different. And then there's you. You're either gonna be one of those people who just dreams about making content as a barber and doesn't actually do it. Or you're gonna finish this video and you're gonna start implementing this stuff ASAP, right? My point is, a very small amount of people are actually going to take this information and use it to change their life. And that's exactly why the competition is pretty much non-existent. So if you're one of those people who actually wants to make this work and is serious about content, the link in the description below is for you only. And it's a waitlist where you'll be able to work directly with me to grow your barber business with social media and ensure your success. The biggest goal is getting you working less and charging more. And if you want that, jump on that wait list. Anyways, y'all, that's it for this video. Go make some content and I'll see you in the next one.